I needed to log into something so you can tell me if my sound is going over or anything. Can anyone hear me? Do we have sound? Am I live? All right. Thank you for that.
Well, there's a lot of videos. Nice kids right here. I'm good.
The sound, baby. Get out. Getting my wife in here in a second so she can help me with these comments. But I'm going to begin with this Middle West Oloroso sherry finished wheat whiskey before we get to the blind. So this is a fresh crack. I haven't tried this yet. So I thought it'd be fun to crack here on the live stream before we do our flight. But this is 100 proof sherry finished wheat whiskey out of Middle West Spirits. I'm pretty excited for this one because I really dig their ported pumpernickel rye. Welcome all of those for joining me. I can't see who it is yet. My wife has abandoned me in here. She said she'd be running my chat, but we'll get there. Oh, really interesting nose on here. It's got it's kind of nutty and little bit of a wine thing. Nothing too heavy with the wine, but also a little bit of a grain thing. Who's had this before, by the way? Getting a lot of notifications with nobody to help me answer them. Well, on here we have a little bit of an apple thing. There's a little grape thing. Maybe that's coming from the sherry finish was the wine finish. Little youthy grain thing, not too heavy. It's drinking a little bit higher than 100 proof, I think, but not dramatically higher. Who's ready for this blind flight? So a little background on this. My good channel member, Ben Leakey, put this together and sent it out to some of the other channel members. So if you're not a channel member and you don't have this flight in front of you, that is no big deal. This is going to be fun to watch anyway. I'm going to be doing this flight along with some of my channel members. But like I said, if you don't have this flight, it's no big deal. It'll be fun to watch anyway. Yeah, I'm hoping that everyone is getting on here and can hear me. I'm going to check on something. Where are you?
Really, hi. Can I go? And you kicked me out of the room when I was trying to say goodbye. I'm actually trying to say goodbye, and you're like, get out. Oh.
All of this is being broadcast. All of this. Can you help me with the chat, please?
Yes.
Knocked over a bunch of glasses there. So anyway, this flight was put together by Ben Leakey. So thank you so much to Ben for putting this together. We got a lot of chat. We're way behind in the chat here. But yeah, so this Middle West, who's had it before? Who's had the Middle West before? I really dig the ported pumpernickel rye, but I have not had this one. And I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm glad this one was one I picked up. Like apple cinnamon type things going on. Now, like I said, if you don't have this flight in front of you, no big deal. This will be fun no matter what. We're going to have some fun with this. But yeah, channel membership is something that you could consider if you're a fan of my channel. And this is the type of things we're going to do in the future. So pretty cool that we have the opportunity to do stuff like this. And thank you so much to Ben for putting this together. So.
Right, so I don't. Have you seen anything in live chat? I'm sorry.
I haven't seen anything. No.
6:30. So we'll start at the top. Chris is here, says cheers everyone.
Cheers, Chris.
Farmer's Grip said yay sound. Buzz Killington says yes, and I don't know what that was too. I think it sounds like
I was asking if I had sound, yeah.
So Jason's here, Patrick, Mark Owens. Joey G says, I'm so jealous of the Russell's 13 bottles. Every shop around here has them for 500 plus. I just want a sip at this point. Franklin Johnson says, I'm here and I liked. Whiskey Punkard says, cheers all. Domingo's here. Jason
How are we doing?
Drinking on a Sunday. Brian's here, says hello, hello, hello.
Brian.
Joey says Sunday fun day. Mark says cheers.
Cheers.
Archie says, I'm drinking a 1792.
All right.
Barrel proof store pick and a prudent copy with you all tonight.
Good
Mark
deal.
Owen says, I'm so excited. Thanks, Ben. SN said, yeah, I think that was probably whenever I dropped the bottles.
Is Ben in there? Have you seen Ben yet?
I have not seen Ben yet.
We kind of need Ben for this.
Buzz Killington says this was a great idea. Mark Owens says that he loves 1792 FP. Whiskey Punkard says, surprised you got Middle West on there. And Archie says, I didn't even know there was such a thing as channel membership. I'll join.
Awesome. That's good to hear. So as far as the Middle West goes, I got the Middle West from a good another channel member. It is not available in Arizona. So I was set up for that through a channel membership from a friend. So I'm going to go ahead and sniff here a little bit on glass one. Is everybody ready? Are we, am I jumping the gun here, or should I be ready to dive right into this?
Russell's 13 isn't all that actually, says SN.
You know, I will say that Russell's 13 is very good. I'm a big fan, but I would say that if you can get a very, like a really good Russell's private selection, it's almost just as good as a Russell's 13. And also a lot of the Stags, like Stag Juniors, store pick Stags, I think those can be a little bit easier to come by. I know they're still hard to get, but they can be a little bit easier to come by than Russell's 13. And I like Stag more for the most part. Well, we have glass one here. I don't know what these are, but I have some idea of what's in here. So I thought for our point system.
Mark Owens and Mark Lester and Buzz Killington all say, I'm ready. Whiskey Punkard says, what's the theme?
I don't believe there's a theme. This is just bottles that Ben wanted us to experience together. And I do know a couple of them are in here. I don't know where they are. So it's a blind for me, but it's a double blind for the channel members. So I thought for our scoring system, we would do 1 point for type, 1 point for proof, 1 point for finish, and 1 point for distillery. And all of the people at home can get an extra point for a bottle guess. I can't do that, though. I won't be able to get those. So they could get up to 20 points technically, or 25 points technically, and my max would be 20.
All right, well, Buzz, Brian, Moonlight, Mark Owens, Jason, already, and Benji says, who made it also? What's everyone sipping on? And Ryan says, cheers. What's up, Ryan?
Ben Leakey. Have we seen Ben Leakey?
That's why I said Benji. So
it is alarming me a little bit that Ben's not here. This could be a complete disaster where we don't know what we're drinking.
But says Ancient Age. Chris Jenkins says, cheers, Carlos. At Whiskey Corner.
Oh, hey, Carlos. All right, well, we're going to go into glass one. So this one's like bright and citrusy to me. Anybody gone into it yet?
Oh, hold on. We gotta pause for a memento. It is Mark Owen's birthday today.
Happy birthday, Mark.
So happy birthday, Mark. And Brooks is here. This is
Brooks.
Finally here. Brooks, just as an example of my love for my husband, I am actively not watching the Chiefs game at the moment. So just so you guys know, that was a huge sacrifice.
It's the huge inconvenience of being a Chiefs fan, not me, her, and you know, having a nationally televised game every single week, where you're either on Sunday night or Monday night or whatever every week. You know.
Buzz says lots of citrus. Alexa says happy birthday.
Citrusy.
Happy birthday, Mark. And Whiskey Corner says, hey, Chris. But
and I'm going to kind of go through
all that matters is that the Cardinals won.
I am very happy for that, even though it, you know, drops our stock a little bit lower in the draft pool. But this works out for me because I wanted to see a win.
All right, Mark Owen says something fruity.
It's a little bit, I know I said appley on that, so maybe that's just in my mind, but there's a little bit appley on here.
Brian's thinking bubblegum.
Oh, I could see that. And I don't think that's finished.
No, it says I get more stone fruit than citrus.
So I'm going to go ahead and say my thoughts here, and that's okay if it affects some of you, because I'm going to give mine out for the viewers at home who aren't taking place in the blind. I do believe this to be a bourbon. I think it could be MGP, and I don't believe it to be finished. That's my guess so far. It's very light in color, too, so I don't know if you guys can tell. This one was by far the lightest in color.
All right, Moonlight, I said that Mark Owen says he gets apple. Brooks has my back, and he's going to give me all the Chiefs updates to make sure I know the score.
All right.
Pretty much my Apple Watch will tell me as well. But
well, having double, I don't know what I'm trying to say here.
Are you talking about how we're using every piece of equipment?
Yeah, we have like laptop, tablet, phone. We have everything in this room.
So Patrick White says citrus zest, dusty rye type vibes. Moonlight says smoke wagon vibes. Mark Lester.
Oh, I could totally see that.
Has bubblegum.
And MGP tends to have that bubblegum thing. I don't often get that, but people say that.
Can I try it and I'll tell you what I think?
Sure. You're not very good at this, but
I'm not. That's the fun part. I more just wanted to see if I could get bubblegum too. I did not get bubblegum.
Maybe I would call it like a raspberry thing that I get. Well, we'll go on to number 2. We will go on to number 2. Now this one is a little bit more dank, and it's a little bit like this one's my wet basement that I often say. Brown sugar and vanilla as well, heavy on here.
Patrick White says, what margin of error for proof on this one?
5.
And Brooks says 4 roses, single barrel on this one.
Ooh, I could totally see that.
Light says 4 roses might be a good call too. SN says, come on, let her drink. He did. I literally tasted whiskey like I normally do. Mark Owens, it says A is tough. Moonlight says B was a great nose. While I was pouring, jumped out of the glass. Brooks says it smells great.
Which one, 2?
SN says I could feel the love. Yes, for B, I think we're at B. So.
Yeah, I'm definitely. Oh, yeah. I guess I'm saying 1 and 2, but it's A and B.
And you guys can hear our shaking dog.
Yeah, I need to kick him out. He's scratching himself.
Dark and yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I jumped the gun there. I'm not done here. Sorry.
B, lots of brown sugar.
I put not finished for B, but I could be convinced that's finished because there's some interesting things going on. I'm also thinking I put MGP for now, but I think that's a placeholder.
MGP.
Midwest Grain Spirits, also known as Ross and Squibb.
Patrick says B has a bit of vegetable undertones, weird contrast.
Yeah, you know what? I would agree with that, like a beet thing.
Brooke says, holy crap, 2 is good, very sweet.
Yeah, very sweet, very sweet. I'm going to check out 3 here. I'm going to move on a little bit. I want to check, or C. Sorry, C. I'm also very alarmed that Ben is not here. we clarified the time a couple times, but maybe he's jumped in the last minute or 2. But he's the one with the key, so. Now this one's another dank nose. This one's got like a lot of like wet books, wet wood, like a meadow type thing. Oh, wow. That's really sweet. That's really tasty. There's a wine thing here.
Going back to 2, Brooks says maybe cab finish. And I think Buzz all on to butter and brown sugar. They definitely get the vegetal on the nose. You want to say vegetable. And Mark Owens, of course. Yes, come on, Ben. You have not seen him. I hope Ben is already probably watching the game.
Well, no, it's funny because I texted him earlier and he's like, I'm gonna get a nap in before this. So there's a real chance he's still sleeping right now, but
never tried a nap. Moonlight says, C is crafty. Patrick says, I got some of those musty notes on the nose for sure. So,
I definitely think we're all bourbon so far. Everyone in agreement there?
All bourbon. But yes, that's probably definitely what happened to Ben. He probably was like, I'll just take a quick nap. And then
there's also a chance he didn't do the math and he thinks that Arizona time 6:30 is 7:30.
Oh, that could be too. But Benji is just like, I'm fine, thanks. Definitely feel that. Mark Owen says I get crafty for C. Brooke says 3 tastes. Like a Russell's store pick to me.
Interesting. I'm not sure what it is. I actually wrote, I think C is finished because I'm getting a little bit of a wine note, but I could be completely wrong on that. I wrote no, but I'm going to probably change that.
Buzz says that he actually thinks A is a Scotch after B and C.
Well, so let's go back to A for a moment here. There is a little bit of a smoky thing on the nose. Would Ben do that to us? Would he trick us with a little Scotch? If he did, he picked a great one because this is really tasty.
I almost wanted to make a joke earlier because if you guys can see the beautiful lighting back there that I did today.
She put lighting in for me today. So what do you guys think?
But I wanted to make a joke about how I use Scotch to do it.
Scotch tape. I like it.
Let's see here. Mark Owen says, yes, I get smoke as well.
This could be an American single malt. It is malty. I will totally give you that. It is malty.
Thanks, Mark Lester. I think it's nice lighting too. It's really fun because it can change colors. And I got really excited.
I'm going to peek at my text messages here and see if he has texted me. He has not.
All right. Moonlight says, I don't think it's quite malty enough. Texas question.
Ooh, that Texas is a good call because Texas gives you that. Texas really does give you that mesquite thing.
I think the hard thing about the live feed is I can get the messages, but it's almost 2 seconds
behind.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because now I'm not on the screen there for you, but I'm clearly back on the screen.
Yeah. So Archie says I'm newish to bourbon, 2 years or so, but I have 9 years on rum. Vegetal has very specific connotations in rum.
Okay.
What is an example of a whiskey that is vegetal?
I get a vegetal quality off of Dickel. Some people call it minerals, and some people call it Flintstone's chewable vitamins is a thing that some people call it. But for me, it's more of a vegetal, I guess I'm doing a poor job of putting it into words, but that for me, it's like a minerally thing that is definitely there. It's just depending upon who you ask, they might call it different things. Bourbon's so sweet and desserty that you often don't think of vegetal, but sometimes vegetal might be something that you might more say about a Scotch.
Ted Brooks says could be Del Bach. And Brooks likes my blue lighting.
So Ben, I'll give you a little spoiler here. Ben is not in Arizona. He's in Mississippi. So I highly doubt he'd throw Del Bach in here. Well, I can tell you, did anyone go to D yet? Because D is minty. D is quite an interesting rye. D is a rye.
I don't think that anybody probably moved ahead of you, but so Ben Lee Kazir.
Woo!
All right. So he said, "How in the world did the internet mess up the time zones?" Patrick says people call Willet Warrior rye herbal, but I would describe it as vegetable sometimes.
I could see that too. For me, I call the Willet 40 or rye for me is very, very minty and a little dill. So this one I think is really interesting. It's giving me MGP 95.5 rye vibes.
Should we catch Ben up on
yeah, so Ben, I'm terribly sorry that you're a little behind now. We're actually on D. I couldn't keep everybody else waiting. You know, those time zone things are ridiculous, which is why we need to abolish time zones, and we are all on the same time zone worldwide. That way, you know, hey, maybe the sun comes up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon where you live. You just have to deal with it.
Okay, so I'll just finish these things. So Patrick White said people call Willet for your ride. Oh, I said that way. Lily said 95.5 definitely. Buzz said earthy dill. Brooks says, yeah, number 4 is a rye. Jason agrees. Mark Owens, cheers, Ben. Glad you made it. And I was going to say, Ben, that's what we learned is today is Mark's birthday. So
and so the cool thing about D here. Oh, sorry, Ben. So if you want to catch up with us, it's fine because we're going to go through these again. So it's no biggie. If you want to just go to D for now, and we'll go back through them again. I know you really wanted to drink along with us, but we kind of started panicking when we were a couple of minutes in and you weren't here. But
we started panicking because the wife thought it started at 6:30, and so she was in talking to her friends on the phone, and my friends from also like my world of being in my doctorate program, and so you know you didn't really miss too much because you just missed me being like, I don't know we're doing this, and also dropping bottles.
Yeah, when she came in, she knocked over some samples. It worked out real well. Got some air in them, you know.
Just some idea of like our marriage. We're just kind of like a hot mess over here. So actually, I'm a hot mess over here.
I am too.
So Brian Rapp says 100% agree on Willet for your rise being dilly. Willet says, I feel like Leek might have thrown some Melick in here somewhere.
Ooh, JT Melick. Ooh, I like that idea. So to the person who was asking about the vegetal, dill is another note that might be vegetal to some, whereas I would call that herbal. Some people might call that note a little vegetal.
Mark Owens thinks D is a Sazerac rye.
I do like that. I think it's a little higher proof, though. I think this is a barrel proof rye. Oh man, I dare I say that E has my favorite nose so far. It is caramely, very caramely.
Well, it says E has a great nose.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's our highest proof so far.
Brooke says D is the senator.
Interesting. That is an interesting call. And I think that I'm actually like having a little bit of a light bulb go off over my head because I think I might know what this bottle is because it was something that he had suggested might be in the flight. And you are, if I'm right, which I could be wrong, you are really close.
Jason says D's my favorite so far. Don't know what it is, but I dig it.
Everybody go to E yet? I think E is our highest proof.
Brooks thinks E is vanilla bomb.
And
also, if you make guesses, like shout out like what makes you think that, because like we have people in here who aren't maybe channel members who might be like, oh, I want to know like why you think those things. So just
that's a really good call, Danielle. Thank you. So yeah, the reason why I think I know what this is it's giving me a really characteristic quality that this whiskey tends to have. Now, if I say what that is, I will give it away, but I will come back to it later. Right before we reveal what this is, I will tell you why I think I know what this is. And kind of the way my process works when I'm doing these blinds can kind of be revealed when it comes to that.
Mark Owen says E, nice mouth feel.
Very,
so far.
yeah, I agree. The E has a really, really awesome mouthfeel, really great viscosity, really just like soaks your whole tongue and just stays. The finish is really long.
Yeah, balanced, very tannicky, fruity.
It's candy bar for me, very candy bar.
Good spice, sweet oak.
A little bit of chocolate, a little bit of caramel. I really dig E. I think E is my favorite so far, but that often changes when I go through them again. So I think we should do that. And this is a good idea to give Ben an opportunity to catch up with us, and we can go back to glass one and go through them one more time.
Right,
Now, often
he says he really digs D. And Patrick White says E has a soft nose. The palate is caramel and vanilla.
Yeah, big time, big time. Thank you, Patrick. That's you nailed it there. I don't really know where I was going. I apologize. My brain is kind of all over the place today. I didn't sleep well last night. I blame that. So this will give you an opportunity to catch up. And normally this is something that I would cut out. Normally in a video where I'm doing a blind flight, I would cut this portion out because it's a lot of the same things we just did. But this will give us an opportunity to see that behind the scenes look at what I do the second time through. And I often change my mind a lot on the second time through. So sometimes when you're watching my videos, you miss that. You miss the part where I get to a glass and I'm like, well, I was certainly wrong about this. This is easily the best one. So
you guys also miss the parts where he like stops midway and like comes to me in the bedroom and is like, oh my gosh, you have to like know this tastes like this, this, and this. And like,
yeah, this does happen.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So here, it says, man, going back to A, it smells great. Archie, my friend's a distinction. Mark Owens says, I'm stuck on all these, but they're all good. Brooks, B and E are darkest color, but B may be finished to get that dark, where E may be something bold. Some super caramelly, like a creamed caramel. And Ben loves the way that E sticks to the tongue.
Now, some people had guessed that this could be a Scotch. Some people had guessed that this could be a Texas. Some people had guessed that this could be a smoke wagon product. And I think that everyone is on the right track there because there is something smoky on this one. There is something that's really giving me smoky vibes. And that generally means, like Scotland, like the peated stuff, or like Southwest. Now in the Southwest here, if you've never had any whiskeys from like Texas or Arizona or even smoke wagon from Nevada, they tend to have that smoky mesquite quality to the whiskey, even though they weren't smoked. They just were aged in the Southwest. It's something that happens here.
Was this the one I have to go back?
That was the one you did not taste that one. And I'm sorry, I just finished it, so you can't.
No, you're fine.
Well, actually, I do have a little bit more in the bag.
To figure out what the bubblegum was.
So can you throw me one of those?
Throw you
one of the thingies? Yeah.
This one?
Yeah. So this is a suggestion I could suggest to some of you guys. If you guys send samples to friends, these bags, Ben has been sending me samples in, and they are designed for liquor. Thing that's happened to me and other people when they've shipped samples to people, they arrive broken, and it's a really annoying thing. It's a really big drag when you've waited for this sample to get to you and it's broken. I've also had a couple leak in the package, and you get maybe half of the sample that you wanted, and so that's not going to happen with these. So that's kind of cool that this is something that you can ship whiskey in and maybe not have to worry about that as much. So shout out to the breast milk containers.
All right. Patrick says, I might be changing A to American single malt for type.
I'm still leaving it as bourbon, but I'm with you, Patrick.
Great. And B has some toasted marshmallow.
B could be a toasted product.
A could be a blue note peated.
Ooh, and you know what? Another distillery that's done some peated bourbons is Chattanooga. And Chattanooga's peated whiskey was actually amazing. It's a bourbon, and it's so funny how often I taste something outside of the Scotch world, and it actually like opens my mind, because for the longest time I didn't think I liked sherry finished stuff, and then I tried some sherry finished bourbons and ryes and these types of things, and I'm like, no, sherry's amazing. I just don't like Scotch.
Marco likes the bags too. The bags are very
and they you would think maybe there might be some leaching, or like it could ruin in the bag. Well, they are designed to hold liquor, so that's probably not as likely. And also, it's probably not something you would want to store whiskey in for like years. where you could do that with a glass sample bottle, but you could also, when you get it delivered to your house, you could pour it in your own sample bottles. So you don't have to worry about them breaking, and you also don't have to worry about the plastic. Because I actually think that they would, I have no problem with weeks or months of them sitting in that bag.
I was gonna say, it reminds me of like Capri Suns. So that's what I keep thinking too. I'm like,
yeah, Brooks called them, dude, the flight came in breast milk sample bags. Yeah, that's what I've been calling them ever
I was
since.
like, shout out to all the dads who are
Yeah,
thinking the same
exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
So Busby is very toasty. Brooks says Chattanooga, that's what I meant. I don't think it's smoky quite enough for peated, but something like malted Chattanooga is a great call. And then we have lots of stuff about the Rust Malt Bats.
I actually have 3 bottle guesses, but that's just purely because, and I don't get points for the bottle guesses as we discussed, but I do think I know what 3 of them are purely because I know some of the whiskeys that ended up in this flight because Ben had shared the idea with me.
Domingo says, I used to like Scotch, but it's too much funk for me now. I can maybe do some Japanese whiskeys in moderation. And Patrick says, second time around, getting way more oak on the nose of the.
I think for people who are bourbon fans and you want to dabble in the single malt category, I think American single malts and Irish single malts match to the flavor profile of bourbon better, personally. I have found some Irish single malts that I'm just like, wow, this is good. This is amazing. This is as good as any bourbon I've ever tasted. Shout out to Brooks for that sample of the Redbreast 27, because that is still like a top 10 whiskey I've ever tasted, and it's not even a bourbon. So it's pretty impressive.
Archie says hashtag dads who drink, because I think that's the thing is like y'all came for whiskey, but you didn't know you'd just be talking about breast milk backs. And there's only like one woman, as far as I can tell, in this, and that's me. So,
I do get comments occasionally from women, and it's cool to see them. But the YouTube algorithms tell me that like 99% of my viewership is men. So.
And yeah, exactly. But women can drink whiskey too.
Oh, absolutely. So. We would encourage it. In fact, some of the most amazing people in the industry are women. You know, there's some amazing master distillers and everything, and they know their stuff just as much as the men do. They really do. It's awesome.
I think we've clarified this before, is that I don't drink for a couple of reasons, but the biggest one is because I literally cannot smell or taste things.
Yeah, so she lost her sense of taste and smell due to COVID in 2020, and it never really came back. She has a little bit of it back, but for the most part, most things either taste good or bad. Not much else. So if I ask her to know something with a blindfold on, she wouldn't know if it's bacon or bourbon.
Yeah, we actually did that one time.
I mean, not with bacon, but.
No, we did like a whole thing on that. That's it. But so that's why I really don't, because I don't get like the same stuff out of it, because I think that's what's special about whiskey is like the smells or the tastes or things like that out of it versus like, you know, the other part to it. So anyway, we'll call go back. And yes, like he says, RIP, that was my biggest fear. Yes, unfortunately, it was my only symptom. And so that was really hard. So Mark Owens is getting a lower proof on A, B, and C. Brooks, again, the grape bubblegum thing. Clayton forgot this was going on tonight, but just remembered. Happy blinding. Cheers to everyone drinking.
Cheers.
Patrick White says Victoria Edie Butler. And Will Light says C has some good spice.
Yeah, there's some nice spice on C. I think they're all bourbons except for R1 rye is my guess. And I could be wrong about that. A could be something else, but and there's a really good chance that at one point in time Ben told me every single whiskey that was in this flight, and I have just forgotten. I don't know what I ate for breakfast this morning. So also I thought this would be a good time to throw this out there. One person in the comments section today is going to win this bottle of Penelope Architect. I'm throwing this out there. Normally, I do a giveaway for only channel members. So I hope my channel members don't mind this one time where I'm going to include everyone in the comment section of this video for this bottle of Penelope Architect. And the reason I'm doing that is this is an advertisement for my channel member section. So normally I do a giveaway every month, and to be eligible to win it, you have to be a channel member. And so therefore this month I'm giving away this Penelope Architect, and anyone who leaves a comment down below will be eligible. So how you can win: like this video, make sure you're a subscriber, and leave a comment down below. The you watched the video, which one was your favorite, which one you thought would be your favorite, you know, that type of thing. And we will do a giveaway for this Penelope Architect.
When are we doing that? And like,
well, since I opened it up to the comment section, which wasn't originally my plan, I'll have to do it on another day because for that reason. Yeah, D is just so obviously a rye to me. I love this. It's just giving me those rye flavors on the nose, the rye flavors on the palate. It's just loaded up with herbs and spices.
So
I have an invader right now. We have my son came in here. So everyone say hi, Marshall.
All right, so okay, going all the way back to this because you were talking, some of these came through. So Ben says my first time on B. He said a lady had something to do with one of these whiskeys.
Ooh, cool.
Moonlight says spread the love. Ben says just the three. Mark Lester says E is his favorite.
Yeah, E is my favorite.
Archie says it worked. I'm joining. Franklin says in for the Penelope bro. Archie says cheers everyone. Buzz, deep packs of flavor punch. Brooks thinks C is E.H. Taylor small batch. Mark says,
ooh, okay. So I would say that E and D are my favorites, and everything up here is really good. But D, I'm like I've been kind of savoring it. I like it so much.
AZ Fly Guy not in the tasting tonight, but enjoying the live stream. Cheers all. Ben Leak says I go back and forth between D and E as my favorite.
Yeah, help us out. Is it Ben Leak or is it Ben Leaky? I've been saying Ben Leaky, and I think I'm wrong now that my very much smarter wife has been saying Ben Leak, and now I need to know: is it Ben Leaky or Ben Leak?
I'm like, he will let us know. All right, so and I like that's the thing. I keep saying moolite, but it's like obviously moo-ite, and
I would say moolioite.
So a little bit of nuttiness for me on C. Patrick White says E is his clear favorite.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Brooks.
I actually expected D and E to be closer when I went back through them, and it's for me. I love E. I love it.
D is Brooks' favorite, and Patrick, I don't know what proof it is yet, but tastes the highest and delivers
E. E is the highest proof, yeah. That was what he was saying, right? Yeah. For my proof guess for E, I went up to 125.
I mean, definitely one day there might be so many comments that I can't read every single one of them.
But that's kind of nice about being in the size that I'm at. I mean, it's a great community. I can still respond to every comment in my comment section, even though, you know, I get like 150 to 250,000 views a month. I can still reply to every comment in the comment section, and that's something that I don't see a lot of people doing. So it's something that I just want to do as long as I can. Eventually, if I get to like a Bourbon Junkies level of success, which I doubt I ever will, but if I do, I won't be able to respond to every comment. But if I ever get there, I will try my best.
All right. Moonlight says B smells phenomenal. I guess 120 on E. I am right on Ben's name. He says the E is silent.
Okay. Well, that's why he says leaky in the bottle, or leak in the bottle. Yeah.
Yes.
I keep saying leaky in the bottle, but.
Jason, D is still my favorite. His wife likes E the best. Okay, so there's another lady here. All right. Martin says hello, drinking buddy. It was great to meet you Saturday. Anonymous.
Martine.
Yeah. Mark says I'm going 115 proof on E. Buzz, B, D, and E are still so good. Matt Lindbergh says he loves the episode and the technical difficulties at the start just make it better and real. Yeah, that is definitely us. So Brooks says E is his favorite. Archie, unpopular opinion, but his nose is number one gauging factor.
I get that. I totally get that. I lean Finnish myself. But I also, I agree with you. Nose is very important. I mean, another thing that I've been considering lately is, do I nose too long? Because for the video, I'm like going in for nosing notes, and maybe I'm actually like, if for a longer flight, I might even be frying my palate by the time I get to the end because I'm nosing for so long.
Possibly. Bourbon on the Bayou says cheers, drink the Ben.
Cheers, buddy. Glad to have you. Is everyone ready for Ben to start revealing stuff? I think before he starts revealing stuff, I think we should throw our guesses in the comment section of maybe bottle guesses if anyone has them.
Yeah. Moonlight says my nose order is B, A, D, E, and C. And Chris says maybe if you're going to spend so much time swirling your glass, you could respond to more comments. JK, LOL. We know where you live, Chris. Patrick White says I rely on the aftertaste finish a lot because cigarettes, which I guess I could see that too. Like if you're not just drinking whiskey, like I'm not saying cigarettes, but just like anything that you're doing, like if you're eating at the same time,
or very
whatever,
good call.
It's going to affect what you're tasting.
Yeah, I generally like to separate it at this point. I used to like eat while I drink, or I separate whiskey now. I don't like to drink whiskey while I'm eating. I like to completely separate it, and that's something you kind of can't do if you're a smoker. So that is, and then so several of you had reached out to me about cigars. So I did an episode with cigars, and one of my wonderful fans sent me a bunch of cigars, and I tried my best, but every time I smoked a cigar, I felt like my palate was wrecked for days. I felt like I could taste my palate was kind of singed. So I don't think cigars are a thing for me. I don't think that's something that I'm going to do in the future, but I really appreciate the fan that was nice enough to send me some cigars, because it really did allow me to experience this other part of whiskey that I haven't really experienced. And then also, while we're on the subject here, another thing that we do as channel members is we have events. So yesterday was one of our first ever events. We had a get together at Nana's Kitchen. Now, I know a lot of you probably aren't in Arizona, but if you're in Arizona, it was a really great time. We had people driving from all over the state to come here, and we had an event at Nana's where we were given a blind flight that Marco had put together. He's one of the owners, the operators at Nana's Kitchen, and he put together a great flight. And I think the unanimous winner was a High and Wicked. It was called was it the Judge or the Jury? Crap, I don't know. It was either the Judge or the Jury, but it was a Madeira finished bourbon, and it was really fantastic. It wasn't a unanimous winner, but it was an almost unanimous winner.
Jury.
And, the jury?
Yes. And Mark Owens asked about the Ragged Branch BIB 2 times oak included, but said you could screw it in. Moonlight says E's got to be K. Luke. Brian Rapp says B. Shanks, D. Midwinter Night's Dream. Let's see here. Archie, 100%. I can't do cigars with whiskey. Yes, and neither.
Yeah.
Super gross. But
I did enjoy it, but I got to have my palate for these videos, so I couldn't, like, for days after doing this video with cigars, I couldn't taste the whiskey. Anyway.
Domingo says it was a great time. Looking forward to the next one.
And there will be more.
Easy Fly Guy, same thing. Fantastic time yesterday. Franklin says very good cigars won't blow out your palate for days. I almost gave up 2, but found that $15 and up cigars are typically not leading along aftertaste.
You know what? I got to be honest. I feel like the guy who sent me these cigars spent a lot of money on these cigars. I looked up some of them online, and the ones I smoked were really expensive. Mm-hmm. They were really. He did an amazing job of selecting cigars for me, and the ones that I smoked were pretty expensive. And yeah, for me personally, I just felt like it wrecked my palate. But I totally get it. I'm not pooping on the hobby at all. It just wasn't for me. So where are we at with our bottle guesses? Did anyone throw out any bottle guesses?
Mark Owens says ECVBA. It says order. Patrick White, ECAB.
I'm very E and D forward. I really like those two. So I'm going to throw out bottle guesses, and I hate to say that I'm going to throw out bottle guesses because Ben has to be ready for this, because I probably am going to give some spoilers, because I think I know what some of these things are in here. But I think that, well, you know what? I'm going to write my bottle guesses down. So I'm not spoiling anything. I'm going to let Ben reveal things for us. Okay. And I will hand it to you. And so if I'm right, I don't get any points for this. But I
was gonna say I'm just I think either Brooks is being really quiet in here, because he's really focused on the whiskey, or because he didn't want to tell me the score right now because
Is the score bad?
I don't like it.
Who are they playing?
Green Bay.
Oh, Green Bay's. Well, no, actually, Green Bay's been pretty good lately. Okay, I have my 3 bottle guesses written down. I'm going to hand that to my wife.
Okay.
And Ben, why don't you start telling us what we got here?
All right. Well, I will tell you that who I thought Casey is Casey 9-year. And Ben said not it, but not bad. And Patrick says he's wrong, but he got 4R single barrel for B and possibly an ECBP for E.
I had no idea there was a 4 Roses single barrel in here. That is so cool that somebody sniped that. All right, so tell us what we got here, Ben. What are they?
Oh, Whiskey Shaman says meow. I'm waiting for him.
Whiskey Shaman, thanks for coming.
I'm waiting. I think it probably takes a minute to type.
Now, Whiskey Shaman, were you part of this? I don't remember if you ordered this or not. So let us know in the chat.
Bourbon on the Bayou says an ex-cigarette smoker, cigars do nothing for me. Ben's ready, so like I said, we're like a few seconds behind, so by the time we just gotta kind of like wait it out.
Yeah, that makes sense. I will continue to drink this Middle West sherry finished wheated whiskey while we reveal.
Whiskey Shaman said no, he's not. Next time.
You've sent me a lot of things, Whiskey Shaman, so you got to be involved in the next one. Be awesome. He's been a great supporter of the channel. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
All right. Moonlight says, curious what you think of that Middle West.
I do dig it, but I don't like it near as much as the ported pumpernickel rye. Do you have this one as well, Lou? Can anyone hear the really loud car outside my house right now, driving by?
All right. So
Curious.
We have A. All right. So A is Uncle Nearest 1884.
So just the regular Uncle Nearest. Mm-hmm. That is cool. Okay. I was way off.
Patrick's like, what? I'm just going to like emphasize some of your comments because I know it's hard to think. So yeah, A is Uncle Nearest 1884.
So the regular Uncle Nearest. That's cool. It's 100 proof, right?
Okay. B is Old Soul 13-year MGP 99 proof.
Proof? Oh, 99. Dang, I went 110. But I said MGP, I said bourbon, so. I knew that was MGP. Just like you guys who said the bubblegum thing, you were on. You were on. For me, it presents more as like a raspberry thing. But every time I get that MGP thing on the palate, I know it's MGP. I knew that was MGP. Well, not every time, but sometimes.
All right. C is Booker's Charlie's Batch.
C was the Booker's Charlie's Batch.
Yeah.
Whoa! I knew that one was probably in here, and I guessed that for E.
Well, I thought it was double oaked.
I even got peanuts on here.
Ben says D is
K-Luke, the rye.
Batch.
Yeah. I knew that was a K-Luke rye.
He said it's 1,119.5 proof, but I'm pretty sure he meant 119.
Yeah, I think that if we were drinking 1,100 proof whiskey, we might be dead.
I'm just messing with you, Ben. We drove by a hotel earlier this morning, and it said it was 196 degrees. Right, negative 196 degrees. That was pretty funny.
It's a rare occurrence in Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah, I was like, huh. Like, wow, Charlie's drink so low proof.
Yeah.
Mark wanted to try Charlie's Batch. Well, there you go.
Now knowing that we drank this at like, what is this, 127 proof, and it drank at 105, that just tells you how good that Charlie's Batch is.
Brooke says, good for Bookers. That's great. Buffalo Bourbon Enthusiasts says, you make me feel good about my 4 bottle guesses.
That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for.
I would say like blinds
no
are
one's
so
perfect.
Different than like when you know what bottles are there. Like whenever I do stuff for like you and your friends or things like that, or like I pour it and you know what's on there, I think you always do better than if you have no clue. But it's because like you can see how many bottles he has behind him, like, and then there's way more bottles out there in the universe. So it's like hard to really like.
Yeah, the other thing that I've been considering recently is those find the imposter blinds. Boy, does that add another layer of like mental gymnastics to the whole blind thing, because I will spend way too much time trying to find the imposter to the point where I have completely sabotaged my entire palette for the entire flight. It's crazy how it works out. I have one that I haven't posted yet, but I was convinced that I was drinking a flight of single malts because the first one was a single malt. And it threw off my palate for the entire thing. I'm like, okay, well, I'm drinking single malts then. And then the imposter ended up being the single malt. It's crazy. It's
all right. You ready for E? Because that was yours and a lot of people's favorite.
This has got to be the Joseph Magnus cigar blend.
It is, and it was 119.48 proof. And says, thanks, Nancy. Like guessed 100 proof for C. Buffalo Bourbon said, just kidding, I love your content, keep it real. Little Light, Ben, you knocked it out of the park. Ben, like the proof. I said, nobody in the bourbon game can guess much. Buzz says, wow, thank you, Ben. Whiskey Shaman says, blinds are where it's at if you want to prove your palate. Patrick, thanks for the light, Ben.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and throw this out there real quick because I just got to thank Ben. I really appreciate you because I promise you he lost money on this flight. He sent this out to us for $40 each. And you know, he had to pay for shipping. And this is $100 bottle, and this is a $205-ish bottle, $220-ish bottle, depending. He gave us an amazing flight. Like drinking this for $40 is actually kind of stupid that we were able to get this for $40 because any one of these two pours paying you know, maybe 20 and maybe 40 at a bar just for a pour. So thank you again, Ben. I really appreciate it.
Ryan says he was trying to mess with you on that imposter. Clayton says, I saw the Middle West wheat whiskey and pumpernickel rye at my local liquor store the other day. $90 was a touch steep for me at the moment, though.
I would, if you're going to buy one of them, I would consider the port of the pumpernickel rye, because I would say, if you've ever had Midwinter Night's Dram, it is so close to that. It is really comparable to Midwinter Night's Dram for half the price.
Mm-hmm. So. All right, final tally. Oh, that's right.
Hey, why don't you give me that back?
I was like, yeah, I wrote down what you
my bottle guesses don't count, but
there you go.
Like I said, because I knew what could possibly be in here, I wouldn't count my bottle guesses. I did nail one of them, but that doesn't count.
Archie, I'm only 2 years into my whiskey adventure, and I basically only drink Prudent Pappy now. I try to
I love Prudent Pappy.
And allocated. All right, so Patrick got 10 out of 20, Moonlight 12 out of 20, and like Owen says, he has a batch 175.
Could you give me my? Could you give me that again? Because what they are? Because I gave you my paper,
sure.
so
yeah, you did. I don't know why.
That was a really bad idea.
So okay. Uncle Nearest 1884.
And that's 100 proof, right? So 2 points there. Second.
Soul 13 year 99.
99 proof. Nope. It's MGP though.
Yes.
Not finished.
C is Booker Charlie's batch 126.6. D is K Luke Toasted Rye batch 119.
I don't even get proof.
And E was Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend 119.
And it's toasted, so it's finished.
Yes.
Dang. Okay, so I only got 2 on that one, and I nailed the bottle guess, and I still only got 2 points.
Oh, anyway. 93 proof is 1884. Several people.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wrote much more than that. And the last one?
What's the proof?
The E.
E was Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend 119.
Wow.
I
got 9 out of 20.
We went down after about Caleb sourced, and Ben responded and said it is sourced. And this is a 95.5 Indiana that they toasted in MS. We got 13 out of 20. So,
man, this was really fun drinking, buddy. So, like I said, leave a comment down below on the Penelope. Comment that you would like this bottle, something about this flight, something like that. Like the video and make sure you're subscribed to be entered for that. Yeah, I want to say thank you again for Ben for putting this together, because this was so cool. And he's pushed me into this comfort zone where I'm more comfortable doing this type of thing, there will be more of these, and you'll get those really awesome first 5 minutes of the live where I post and then life happens. The first time I did one of these, I couldn't make you would not let me make it horizontal. It would not. It was not an option. And this time, my wife couldn't figure out that I was actually live. You know, it's a very fun thing for sure.
Yeah, a lot of people say amazing flight.
Next time, maybe I'll forget to put my pants on. You know,
Please don't. Because then, you know, who knows?
Monetization and whatnot. Yeah, it would be bad.
But yeah, amazing flight. And lots of people saying like that they want the Penelope, or because the Penelope's theirs, and they had a blast. So, but yeah.
So make sure that it's not a live stream comment. That'll be a comment in the regular channel comments for the Penelope. But yeah, I really appreciate all of you. This has been such an amazing adventure. This is kind of culminating your drinking buddy week. Yesterday we had our event at Nana's, and today we're enjoying this awesome flight that Ben put together. And I just I would not be anywhere without all of you. So I'm so grateful for all of what you do. Every time you guys like the videos, every time you guys subscribe to the channel, every time you guys watch the videos, it just helps so much. I really appreciate all of you. And I think what we learned today is Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend might be worth it. I recently did a Advent thing with the Good Time cigar cut. It kind of blew me away. I loved it so much. And I got a little peanutty thing off of this guy, and there was just so much peanut brittle off of that Good Time cigar blend. So I think I'm going to have to compare the Good Time cigar blend to this Joseph Magnus. I have a little bit in my bag, so we will have to try that out. And, there's a little bit left in my breast milk container.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say that what you learned today is that you cannot let your wife take a phone call.
Right before. Yeah, that's true.
So that's the real issue, because I can just get to talking. So, but yeah, lots of people like, yeah, be a channel member, great Discord. Cheers, guys. But can't wait to see how crazy it was until I got here. I'm just hoping I didn't say any bad words. I don't
No, you definitely didn't. You never do.
I never do, but that would be like the one time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, just one time. So hashtag Whiskey Strong, awesome group, guys. And yeah, so thank you so much. We're gonna go put our kids to bed now.
Yeah, I think I'll go put my kids to bed. Last thing I'll say here, I really appreciated everyone who came yesterday to Nana's event. So I wanted to thank all of you. And another thing that I noticed later today when I was really thinking on it is how like everyone from like different walks of life to like old to young, like just so many different walks of life. But the one thing that I noticed that was really common in the event yesterday was how many of you guys were either active military or retired military, or maybe veterans. And I just want to thank everyone who served this country. That's so awesome. I really appreciate all of you. We're only safe because of you. So thank you so much for what you guys did, what you guys do, and cheers, drinking buddies. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one.